Hey, lying and cheating, forgiven in exchange for a cool meal. Well, would you be willing to sign a contract to stay in a rocky marriage? Here to tell us all about the bargaining tool that might keep Tiger and Elin together, attorney Lori Clark Viviano. Great to see you today talking about post-nuptial agreements. And
okay, but can we go to Legoland first?
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah.
I would like that. We're having a San Diego 6 News Day there tomorrow, a big party, so come on down. Post-nuptials, I hadn't heard of them until yesterday, and maybe I'm behind the ball game, but could you explain them for us?
Well, I think Tiger and Elin are going to do wonderful things for marriage. If you think about it, marriage is a contract. People like to say it's love and romance, but it really is a contract. And I've had a lot of people ask me, am I offended about her receiving an additional $5 million for staying married? And all the Catholics in the world, of course not. You know, don't you do penance? You know, he's paying for what he did wrong. I like post-nups. You can renegotiate. I had a case where literally I think we renegotiated the prenup into a post-nup 6 times. The husband kept doing things he shouldn't do, and she kept saying, that's fine, and just kept adding to the exchange of finances.
Okay, well, our job here is not to judge and not to say this was right or this was wrong. From a legal perspective, though, basically a post-nup is something that you do after you're married if some problems arise, or maybe there's going to be an end to the marriage.
Or don't even look at it that way. Just let's say you marry someone and when you signed the agreement it worked and then the finances changed or you had children, you can always modify it. It's a contract. So you can modify it if there's 2 lawyers involved and everybody has notice and all that. If you just take the emotions out of it, it's a contract.
Okay, so let's talk about Tiger and Elin. I mean, obviously, the regular Mary Joes and Janes of the world, we're not dealing with the $5 million.
Okay, but like you said, we're not supposed to have judgment.
No,
but
I'm not.
People do it.
Right, but talk about what the primary contracts are in this that they're talking about.
So what they're doing is they obviously signed a prenuptial agreement, you know, and that's the other thing that no one knows. No one knows if it was fair, medium, or beneficial to her, and so she's just renegotiating her contract. You can say it's for his acts, or you could just say things have changed.
So you're saying that if she stays and this post-nuptial goes into effect, she'll get $5 million.
Additional.
To everything else.
To everything else
Okay.
that was in the prenup.
Now, this is really sad news. You know, we've been hearing just the last couple of days about Sandra Bullock and Jesse James. Thought those 2 kiddos were going to make it. Maybe they still will. Talk about what kind of a post-nup they could possibly have.
Okay, if I was her, my post-nup would be great. From this day forward, everything is mine and you get nothing. I'm sorry, I would be that harsh because she's very successful, she's on the rise, and I would start being concerned that someone's staying with me for my money.
Wow. Wow. And so then that would be up to him if he chose to sign that.
And if he didn't, I would divorce him.
Really?
Yep.
How do you bring up a post-nup with a partner?
Just like you find out that he's having relations with someone with tattoos all over their body, you bring it up just like that. I think you have to. I think if your marriage is going to work, you have to have, you know, I know I'm a divorce attorney, but the reality is if I can figure out a way to keep people to stay together, that's great. And if a post-nup's going to do it, then let's do it.
Let's say that we're talking about a couple here in San Diego and they don't have $1 million like either of those celebrity couples, and one partner has strayed and they can possibly stay together from a post-nup. If it's not perhaps money that you're negotiating over, what are some other things that could come into play?
You could negotiate that if you get a divorce, let's just, you know, using your example here in San Diego, that if it does end up in a divorce, you as the woman get to stay in the house till the children graduate till they're 18. You could negotiate that you will get an additional year of spousal support to get, you know, you back on your feet. Let's flip it over to the male side. She strays. Shouldn't be sexist here. You know, and maybe he negotiates something. So I think, you know, if you really want the marriage to work, figure out a way to make it work.
Paying for college for the kids,
there you go.
For graduate school.
There you go.
There's all sorts of things. So post-nuptials, have you been seeing them becoming more and more of a trend in your business?
I'm seeing prenuptial agreements becoming more and more in a trend. As a matter of fact, Newsweek was saying now it's something like 60% of second-time marriages are signing prenups. I'm a big believer in it. So if we have prenuptial agreements, I think we're going to start seeing exactly what we're seeing here. It's just people with wealth are going to see it quicker than the rest of us.
All right.
I think it's a positive. I think it's a positive trend.
Okay, Lori Clark Viviana, we're not judging, we're just saying. That's all we're doing. Hey, she's at 619-296-1594. Do you take calls from people over the weekend, Lori?
No.
No, okay. But it'll maybe go to voicemail.
It goes to voicemail.
Phone her right back on
Absolutely.
Monday. So if you can't get her this weekend, hold on. She'll get to you. She's not going to leave you hanging.
And you can watch our prior videos of Fox News here.
That's right. All right.